In 2010, the Nepad Planning and Coordinating Agency was fully integrated into African Union structures and processes. As the linchpin for Africa's transformation, the Nepad Agency is charged with facilitating, coordinating and mobilizing resources for the implementation of continental and regional priority programs and projects. It also conducts and coordinates research and knowledge management while monitoring and evaluating the implementation of national, regional, and continental programs. Our work focuses on 4 thematic areas of socio-economic development: regional integration, trade and infrastructure, natural resource governance and food security, industrialization, science, technology, innovation, and human development. The guiding framework in the implementation of regional integration, trade and infrastructure is the Programme for Infrastructure Development in Africa, PIDA. The PIDA Priority Action Plan identifies projects for short and medium-term implementation, and in 2014, the Dhaka Financing Summit paved the way for the implementation of Nepad's 16 mega projects, a milestone in the quest to change the continent's economic fortunes. Examples of regional results in regional integration and trade include the Sabangalo hydropower interconnection, where detailed environmental impact assessments have been done to avert any possible environmental impact. On the Dhaka-Bamako rail modernization project, a corridor management committee has been formed for the Dhaka-Niamey multimodal corridor. And on the Abidjan-Lagos coastal corridor, feasibility studies have been completed for key and relevant borders on all recognized land transport corridors in the West African region. In Southern and East Africa, the government of Zambia and SADC are fast-tracking the Zambia-Tanzania-Kenya Power Generation Transmission Project with assistance from Nepad. Phase 1 is to be completed by December 2016. Completion of this project will expand and strengthen power markets on the continent. As part of our holistic view on sustainable development, we continue to expand our technical expertise on boosting natural resource governance and food security. Guided by the overarching goals and targets of the Malabo Declaration, such as ending hunger and tripling intra-Africa trade by 2025 at national level, there are emerging impacts building on CAADP implementation. For example, in line with the target of reducing post-harvest losses by 50%, the agency has developed a strategy for post-harvest fish losses for the riparian states, such as Mali, Burkina Faso, Benin, Togo, Côte d'Ivoire, and Ghana along the Volta Basin. Most notably, and as part of our commitment to making a real difference, the Nepad Agency equipped laboratories of the National Office of Sanitary Control in Guinea, as well as provided laboratory technicians with training, which resulted in a 2007 European Union ban on fish exports from the country being lifted. Technical and advisory support to countries in the national agriculture planning systems has triggered further support to the agricultural transformation agenda. 18 countries in Africa have received funding from the Global Agricultural Food Security Program to support the implementation of their revised national agriculture investment plans. As part of the efforts geared at pursuing the targets set by African leaders of having at least 25 million households practicing climate-smart agriculture by 2025, 150 Nigerian policymakers were sensitized to climate-smart practices and aquaculture, while 80 policymakers and climate change practitioners were trained, and about 880,000 community members in Swaziland were sensitized through the media. Over 1,300 women in Ethiopia were trained in entrepreneurship, leadership and environmental protection and management, and 80 farmers and agricultural extension workers were trained on how to deal with the effects of climate change in Uganda. In Niger, 250 hectares of degraded land was recovered through afforestation. An integrated coastal zone management policy framework was developed in Cameroon. Skills in environment protection and conservation were enhanced among village and community leaders in one municipality, Limbe, while over 100 people, including local administrative authorities, traditional rulers and community leaders, were trained in using solar dryers. Strategies were defined to facilitate adaptation and upscaling of climate-smart agriculture practices among 36,000 households in the country. In the KwaZulu-Natal and Free State provinces of South Africa, over 300 agricultural extension agents were equipped with skills for training farmers in the application of weather, climate, and agro-meteorological information. Subsequently, over 400 farmers were trained with 6 adaptive measures to climate change identified. And in Egypt, the Nepad agency in 2016 provided support to the Ministry of Environment by training more than 70 staff members on project management, as well as on issues of management of degradation, desertification, and climate change. Additionally, 32 journalists from different Egyptian media were trained to better report on emerging African environmental challenges. We continue to deliver by working closely with member states by providing effective interventions on industrialization, science and technology, and innovation. The availability of quality, safe, and effective medical products and technologies remain a critical consideration in the improvement of health outcomes of the African population. In 2016, a model law supported by Nepad's technical expertise for the regulation of medical products was adopted by the AU Summit. The African Biosafety Network of Expertise has continued to build functional biosafety systems in AU member states in order to provide opportunity for countries to benefit from application of agricultural biotechnology without compromising on human and environmental safety. The program currently covers 16 countries. Agenda 2063 envisages the effective participation of women in public and private life. The Nepad Spanish Fund has supported 76 projects in 37 countries, directly benefiting over 500,000 African women in areas such as business skills and vocational training, agriculture, and nutrition. Guided by calls to raise the agency's visibility as a knowledge-based institution, a knowledge platform has been developed with e-learning and communities of practice pavilions. Against the backdrop of an ever-changing world and continual innovation on our core strengths, the Nepad agency is focused on making breakthroughs in the frontier of development. Together, we shall achieve a prosperous continent based on inclusive growth and sustainable development. We at the Nepad agency are determined to eradicate poverty in one generation and build shared prosperity through social and economic transformation of the African continent.